Hello, this video is about comparing the cosine rule and the sine rule, which we use in trigonometry of non-90-degree triangles. Okay, I want to compare these because this video is simply information and knowledge that you must have to be able to apply the cosine and the sine rule. You must just simply learn this. Okay, we are starting. What is the cosine rule and what is the sine rule? It is two different rules, people, which we use for finding a side or an angle in a triangle. Okay, the sine rule is also used for finding a side or an angle in a triangle. So number one, that makes it a bit more difficult. We use the rules for finding a side or a angle. So obviously, where are these sides rules going to be different? They are going to be different in the kind of information that is given. Okay, and that will determine which rule will you use. So when are we going to use the cosine rule? Okay, the cosine rule is used when we've given two sides and an included angle. So SAS standing for side, angle, side. So the angle is included. And when the third side is being asked. All right. So importantly, remember SAS. Okay. Side, angle, which is included, and side. Or we use it when three sides are given and an angle is being asked. So remember the abbreviation S, okay, standing for side, 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 and then obviously only an angle can be asked. That is the cosine rule. The sine rule is used when we have one full pair and a half pair, and then either the side or the angle is being used. Okay, what do we mean by the full pair or the half pair? Look here, angle A and side A is given. That represents the full pair. Then in this case, angle B is given, but side B is being asked. So that gives me only half a pair. Or it could also be angle A and side A be given, then side B is given and angle B is being asked. So this one gives you the half pair. Gives you the half pair. So the sine rule is used when we have one full pair and a half, and the cosine rule is used when we have SAS or S. Okay, what is SAS? All right, I always prefer you to draw a triangle. Okay, sorry, I want to first go and look at the formula itself. The cosine formula reads the following: a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. And people, you must remember this, and it will be every time different depending on what sides and what angles is given in that specific example. Okay, but you must remember the pattern. I want you to have a look. Look, A is in this formula twice. B is in this formula twice. C is in this formula twice. Okay, twice. Then also A and B and C is squares. That is how it starts. And remember, people, if you look at this part, that really is Pythagoras. No. So remember that it starts with Pythagoras. Right. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared. Then remember, everything is twice. So now I must have the B and the C, and the cos always goes along with the letter that is the one that you must calculate. Remember here, A is questioned, B is one side given, C is the other side given, and A is the angle given. All right? So when we have the three sides, we will have A given, B given, and C given. Then B and C is given, and then A needs to be calculated, so we will substitute, and then Goro is O. Okay, so please remember, it is the three sides, A squared equals, then the other two remaining, B squared plus C squared minus twice, they appeared second time, BC, and cos A, which is coming from the one that you must calculate. All right, so when you are given a question, I want you to make a rough drawing of the triangle and then put in the given information, okay? This side is given, that side is given, and that angle is given. Then the given information you actually circle, okay? And if you look at that, that always gives you a T shape. This T is on its head, it may be upright, and it may be lying on its side. But if you circle the given information, okay, then you will get a T shape. So the T shape goes along with sus, right? Then if you look at the triangle that is being drawn when A and B and C, your three sides, your S is given, okay? Then if you circle it, it gives you a Y shape. So S, or triple S goes along with the Y shape, okay? Sus goes along with a T shape, triple S goes along with the Y shape. People, this you must just simply learn. Okay, and then you've got your angle that is being asked, all right? And from this, you can now write your formula, okay? This is cos A. Cos A is being asked, okay? So you have A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cos A. And then you go and you put your given information into the right places, okay? And then you calculate and you goros o until you get your angle. That is the cosine rule. So the cosine rule, I repeat, you must remember the formula. Then you must remember sus going along with T shape, and triple S or S, I just remember S goes along with your Y shape. Okay, if we then go and compare the sine rule, remember the sine rule is also used when a side or an angle is being asked. And when do we use it? When we have a full pair and half a pair. So when we circle, we have a full pair and we have half a pair. This is completed by the question mark, okay? We have the full pair, right? And you have the half pair, and this is completed by the question mark. Okay, what is the sine rule? The sine rule is easy to remember. We have sin A on A equals sin B over B equals sin C over C. And from this you can see that we will only use two of these. Okay, you will not always use all three. You might use B and C, you might use A and C, you might use A and B. If we look at this example, we've got A, we've got B, so we are going to use that part of the formula. All right. Now, importantly, because sin B stands for an angle, you use this formula when an angle is being asked, okay? So when your angle is at the top in the numerator, then it is when an angle is being asked. Or the opposite, you just simply turn this around. A over sin A equals B over sin B equals C over sin C, and that we always use when a side is asked. Again, your question mark or your variable in this case is at the top in the numerator. Okay, so when an angle is asked, sin goes at the top. When a side is asked, the side goes at the top. All right, so then from what is given and from what is being asked, you choose which part of this formula you use. You write that down. You then substitute the right value or the values into the correct places, and with that you goros o and you find the question mark. So I repeat, the cosine and the sine rule are used for finding sides or angles of non-90-degree triangles. The cosine rule reads as follows: a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a, okay? Or we can adapt it to b squared equals a squared plus c squared minus 2ac cos b, all right? So that's why I said remember the pattern. And we use that when we have sus standing for a side, an included angle and a side, or when we have s, which stands for 3 sides, okay? Triple S. When we circle our given information, sus gives us a T. When we circle our given information, S or triple S will give us a Y. Okay, then for the sine rule, we have sin A over A equals sin B over B equals sin C over C, or we can turn this around, A over sin A, B over sin B, and C over sin C. We have the angle at the top, the sin at the top, if an angle is being asked. We have the side at the top when a side is being asked. When we draw our triangles, we got one full pair and a half pair, one full pair and a half pair, and people remember that your question mark actually completes the second pair, okay? Your question mark completes the second pair, all right? And you then just simply substitute your values, choose the correct formula, substitute your values, then calculate or do goros or, okay, and then calculate and get your answer correct to 3 significant figures.